Imagine finding a few words of wisdom that could reshape your business journey for the better. What would they say? I'd like to share three profound quotes on leadership that'll challenge your perspective and maybe even inspire transformation. If you're ready to think differently and lead with a new level of vigor, check these out. The first is from Matthew McConaughey. He said, if you aren't impressed with your reality, do the work to create a reality that you are impressed with. We often find ourselves dissatisfied with our present circumstances, wishing or waiting for some kind of an external force to set things right. Our lives can feel like a story being written or influenced by other people. This quote reminds us that the force we really need is internal. If we don't like a current chapter, it's up to us to rewrite it. Here are two ways you can apply this. First, own your reality and lead the change to adjust, improve, and make things better. Then, set a course that inspires you and your team to create a new reality now. Now, the next quote comes from Tony Robbins, who said, it's never resources that are the issue, it's resourcefulness. It's normal to believe that we lack the resources we need to succeed. Trust me, time, talent, influence, and financing are just a few of the common culprits, right? These often mistaken beliefs typically lead to hesitation and even dismay as a leader. Tony's quote reminds us that it's not what we have, but what we do with what we have that makes the difference. So how can you put this to work? Well, priority one is to shift your perspective. Rather than thinking first about all that you lack, look at all that you have and how far you've come. By the way, if you want a great book on this, read The Gap and the Gain by Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy. You and everyone around you will be really glad that you did. Another way to overcome the resources excuse is to know and believe that there are at least three solutions to any problem. Challenge yourself and your team to find them. Ask yourself or ask out loud, what can we do next or right now, given what we do have, to make progress and succeed in spite of our limitations? Then take action. The third quote comes from me. I've learned this over time that change doesn't require progress, but all progress requires change. Now, this is so important. Change is constant in life and business. Market conditions, technology, competition, the economy, trends, just to name a few. But just because things evolve doesn't mean that they improve. But all progress requires change. We need to put in the effort that leads to progress and not just let things happen. So here's my question. If all progress requires change, wouldn't it pay to be good at it? So how can you and your team approach change? With reluctance and apprehension, or enthusiasm and determination? Now, here's how to use this. Take stock of the changes that are happening around you or to you. Brainstorm with your team how you can leverage them to make progress or lead changes of your own to succeed regardless of the circumstances. Next, prioritize. Focus only on the changes that are going to help your team and business grow and be great. You don't want to spread yourself too thin. And then develop a reliable approach to leading change that creates inspiration, support, and leads to predictable progress. You'll be glad you did. To wrap this up, the power of words is really undeniable, especially when they have the potential to reshape your mindset and drive action. Now, as you move forward in your leadership journey, I challenge you to embrace one or two of these quotes. I've put them in the show notes below, along with a link to my blog page and even more on this topic. Let them be a catalyst that inspires change in your perspective and elevates your self-determination and propels you all towards progress. Create a reality that you are impressed with. Here's to your success.